You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, I've got your 2-week spoilers for October 28th through November 8th. Kat's arrested, Stephanie is stabbed, and Kristen rages. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. We're going to dive in with the action starting Monday, October 28th. But if you're not following us already, please reach down, smash that subscribe button. Let's get into it. So Phillip showed up briefly on Friday, and he is back in full force on Monday, and he is messing up Xander's plan to give Titan to Kristen to get that serum for Sarah. Phillip has gotten an injunction to stop Xander from transferring any part of Titan Industries to Kristen. And Phillip is smug and shouting at Xander that he is also Victor's son, but Xander doesn't care. He just is in this blind reactive mode of doing whatever he can to get Sarah this cure. And these boys are toe to toe, and it's going to get so ugly. Meanwhile, Vivian had her henchman Yvonne drug Stefan on Friday. We're going to see a replay of that on Monday. He's going to tie him up, shove him in the trunk of a car, drive him away, never to be seen again, unless somehow the powers that be at Days can convince Brandon Barash to come back or they recast the role. Looks like Vivian forges the divorce papers and gives them to Gabi. Meanwhile, she also stops Gabi from seeing Stefan. Kristen tries to get closer to Brady again, but I doubt he's going to be that open to it. And Sarah sees Fiona drinking a martini in Horton Town Square and completely unloads on her horrible mother-in-law. And newcomer Javi Hernandez is at Gabi and Rafe's door. He is their cousin who has come from Texas, and he's supposed to be Leo's new love interest. Tuesday, October 29th, Kat and Mark are completely terrified at what Clyde is going to do, and she is in the interrogation room at the Salem Police Department, and Chad is facing off with her. He's not very happy. And of course, Mark's not very happy. Now, I don't know if Mark is going to be in jail also, because Mark actually, he falsified the test in Salem, so I guess they could arrest him for that, but the attempted murder was over in France. But, they don't necessarily care that much about jurisdictions and things like that on Days. Steve tells Marlena about Kat and Mark and what went on and their link back to Clyde Weston and the threats about their mom, Katerina, and how they are actually the grandchildren of Konstantin Melionis. And so I guess it's just a whole lot that's tied into Marlena's husband, John Black. And Chad catches Julie Williams up on what went down in Paris as well. And Holly is also back from Paris and forgives Eric Brady for being drunk and running over her dad, Daniel Jonas, and lying to her for years and years and years. But it's only fair since she also decided to forgive Nicole. Wednesday, October 30th, Kayla and Roman discuss Chad's grief and how Kat's con and her lies have churned it all up. And now he's back to coping with Abigail's death all over again after having hope that she was actually back to the land of the living. And Maggie tells Holly, you know what, you should just go talk to Tate. And she knows that Tate, was upset with Holly for her lying and sneaking into Brady's room to try and get evidence, but she thinks Holly can put it back together. Chad is up at the police station and he's taking a very tough stance with Kat, as he should. Meanwhile, Sophia and Tate confess their feelings for each other, and they've got some alone time at Casa de la Black, and they are in bed, and it looks like they are ready to take things to the next level. Looks like they're ready to get intimate. Brady spends some time bonding with Ava. I don't know if it's at the pub. I don't know if it's at the bistro, but I'm kind of interested in seeing that dynamic. Thursday, October 31st kicks off November sweeps, and Leo has a nightmare that's Halloween themed. He has, as part of his nightmare, Stephanie stabbed in the back, laying across a desk in the body and soul office while Alex sits, looks like pretty calmly at the desk. This has a very Connie Vaniski feel to it. She was the most famous backstabber lately. Joy Wesley lands a role on Body and Soul the same day that Johnny is begging Chanel to forgive him. It's going to get really awkward on that set soon. And Alex and Stephanie have to deal with the aftermath of them hooking up on set. Remember, Kate didn't fire her, but said they cannot be anywhere near each other, which is going to get tense soon. Friday, November 1st, Johnny asks Joy to keep a secret. Now, maybe the secret is they were drinking together, or that's where the wedding ring was, or that he told her his wife was cheating, but I tend to think it is that they did the deed that night. So we'll just have to wait and see. Phillip gets together with Vivian, the surrogate embryo stealer who gave birth to him, and they do some scheming. And Kate asks Chanel to please give Johnny a second chance. And Xander goes to Kristen with a deadly offer. He will do anything to get that serum for Sarah. And Holly really wants to hear from Tate, and she's on pins and needles to see if he's going to reach out to her. November 4th through 8th is the second week, and this is the first full week of November sweeps. Johnny is really struggling on the set. It's got to be hard for him to shoot scenes with Joy and Chanel because he is so worried what he did is going to come out. His wife is mad. If she is willing to give him a second chance, he has to know that one little word from Joy and his marriage is over and done. So, and his paranoia is probably going to make everything worse. Meanwhile, Gabi, of course, feels abandoned by Stefan because he signed the divorce papers and then just left town. Of course, we know that's not how it happened, but that's what she thinks. And I wonder if she is going to turn back to EJ DiMera for comfort, because as far as EJ knows, Stefan left town as well. So no obstacles in the way if they want to go back to being bed buddies. Phillip versus Xander escalates, and Vivian is in the mix trying to help Phillip take all that he can from Dandy Zandy. Leo meets Javi. Is this somebody else that's going to somehow wind up on Body and Soul? Cat was arrested, but the law punishing her and Mark is not going to address the greater threat of Clyde Weston. And of course, Chad is furious, but he also knows how Clyde works. The guy wants the DiMera fortune, so he's not going to just dry up and blow away. So maybe Steve can help them cook up a way to deal with Clyde, and then they can punish fake Abby and her brother after they deal with the villain. Look for Brady and Ava to spend more time together, and watch for Kristen to flip out when she finds out.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.